Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dreams Unlimited Travel Podcast. My name is John Magi, and I'll be your host. And this episode, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at Universal Orlando's Express Pass. I'm joined at the table by our panel of experts. Client Services Manager for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Kevin Close.
Howdy, everyone.
Agent and Welcome Center Manager for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Teresa Eccles.
Hey.
And back in our production facility, we have our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
Again, thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for joining us and tuning in. Recently, I sent Teresa on a little fact-finding tour. I'm a big fan of the hotels at Universal. I think they're great hotels. I specifically like Portofino Bay, my favorite.
Okay.
And we've stayed there.
My favorite?
Cabana Bay.
Cabana Bay.
Yeah. And one time when we stayed there, they had the Express Pass. And I thought that was awesome. So I said, Teresa, I want you to do a little bit of a research project for me. I want you to go to Universal. I want you to stay there. And I want you to tell us about Express Pass, how it works. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to stay at one of the hotels that includes the pass? Or can you stay at one of the ones that don't include the pass and then add it? So Teresa had a little bit of a workcation.
Meltdown.
No, she didn't have.
Not yet. Stay tuned.
went to a thing at Disney, a meeting at Disney, and there's two new words that they've come up with.
What?
One is workcation.
Oh.
When you work on vacation. What was the other one?
That's my life.
Bee travel?
Bee travel.
Business vacation?
Yeah, something I'll remember.
Workcation?
It was workcation and biz travel or something
Biz
like that.
travel.
And I thought, oh, people need to stop it. So yeah, she had a little bit of a workcation.
Staycation. There's a billboard down the street, and they have something for kids during the summer called Mathnasium. That's another one of those ones that just brings up breakfast. A Mathnasium.
All right, so Teresa, tell us what Express Pass is.
Express Pass is basically a special queue that you can go in that basically puts you at the front of the line. It's a shorter queue that you can purchase it separately, or you can get it by staying at certain resorts at Universal.
So this isn't Disney's system. This is their own system that Universal's come up with, and in a sense, it's a pay system. You have to pay to get this special access. There are rides that you can get on. It's not all the rides at Universal, but Craig said earlier it's easy to list the rides.
Most of them, yeah. Almost all of them.
There's a lot of them. So it's a pretty good, robust system. It's not just 4 or 5 rides that they've picked.
There is a separate queue line. I mean, just like a fast pass at Disney would be. So it's pretty easy to
You're paying to not wait in line.
Right.
It's their way of sort of, making it so you can get on rides faster, which I think is great. So there are 2 different kinds of Express Pass. There's Express Pass Unlimited, and there's I don't think they call it the regular Express Pass. They just call it Express Pass.
Yeah.
Express Pass Unlimited means that you get to ride as many times as you want on these designated rides.
Repeatedly, you can just go over and over and over on whatever, if you have a special ride you like. Especially, I remember when Stella was little, it was Cat in the Hat. We were staying at a Hard Rock, Cat in a Hat, all day long, as much as you want.
Over and over and over. That was worth it.
Yeah.
And then the Express Pass is one ride on each of those rides that are included in the pass. So that's the difference. It's one ride versus multiple rides. All right. So we know that the Universal Express Pass Unlimited is included with certain hotels at Universal. What are those hotels?
Portofino Bay, Hard Rock, and Royal Pacific are the 3.
So basically the higher end hotels, the more expensive hotels. For all of the other hotels, you can add this pass, right?
You can add the either the Express Pass Plus or the Express Pass, the regular one, and you can do it like one day or several days. So you don't have to do it for your whole vacation. Like if you just have one day, you just want to power through, or
At the other hotels that we mentioned, the unlimited is for your length of stay.
Every time, all day, every day.
So that's basically in a nutshell how it works. That's the mechanics of it. Let's talk a little bit about your experience.
Okay. I stayed at Portofino. which is my absolute favorite hotel at Disney. It used to be Hard Rock, but I like Portofino's a little more laid back.
I do too. I think it's got
It's beautiful, beautiful resort.
The transportation's so easy.
It is. The boat just takes you right. It's just absolutely perfect. Do you want me to talk about the pricing that we got out of it?
No, let's talk about your experience first, so we'll save the pricing for the end.
Okay. Well, we got over there. I think we had a 4-night, 5-day stay as my daughter Stella and I. And staying at the hotel, you get early access and you also into the parks. And you also get the Express Pass Unlimited, which we used one day, and then one day we did not to see how it went. And the third day we
start at the same time each day.
Basically, there was a little bit of the first day was a little bit later than the second, but then we went back a third day and tried to kind of recreate what we did.
Why did you not just say yes?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we timed it. Our watches synchronized. No. We got up at the exact same minute.
I'm dealing with a 16-year-old, so yes, I pushed her out the door as quickly as I could each day. So yeah, it was. We basically had the same amount of time in the parks, but what we got to do in the parks was vastly different from one to the next.
So tell us about the first day with the unlimited pass. What did you all do?
Actually, we did it the other way. We started out with the not.
Okay.
Just to see what we could get in there. And let me start what we did. The first day we did only Islands of Adventure.
Okay.
Because that's just where no, let me change that back. It was the other way. We only did Universal Studios the first day. And some of the lines, it was not a horribly packed park, so some of the lines were not that bad. But I think the longest I waited that day was probably 40 minutes for a ride. And that was the Jimmy Fallon, shockingly.
Wolf.
Which I actually liked. I hate to say it. I know you don't care for it, but I enjoyed it. The Escape Through New York or Travel Through New York or what was it called?
Race Through
New York.
Jimmy Fallon.
From Jimmy Fallon.
Leave Jimmy Fallon, or as he leaves you in the dust.
What's funny is 40 minutes is not bad now. I think it was only a 40-minute wait. That's why you said it. It wasn't bad. It was a 40-minute wait. That's terrible. I don't want to wait 40 minutes for Jimmy Fallon.
It was, but when you're with fun people and you play games at the no, it was 40 minutes. I think that was the longest wait I had. Men in Black was 30 minutes. Fast and Furious broke down, and I never got on it that day. I waited in line for over 30 minutes, and then they finally said, "You can wait or not." So I not.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not going to stand here in this garage with tools, and it just didn't seem like worth waiting for me. The Mummy was also 40 minutes. So we did not get a whole lot done that day.
So there's 2 hours of your day. I'm ballparking. That's 2 hours of your day that you spend
just standing.
Mm-hmm. So the old expression, time is money.
Time is money, yeah.
What's it worth to you?
So that's all you did that day?
That, and then Despicable Me.
Oh, okay.
And what was the other one I did?
Did you say E.T. or Simpsons?
Simpsons. Yeah, Simpsons is on here. We did not do E.T., but we did Simpsons, which is usually a long line, but it was only 25 minutes that day for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal was, but so it was a lot of
so that's time
just standing in line. Yeah. And factor in getting from one place to another and all. It was, I didn't find as enjoyable as the next day.
Did you have a specific plan in mind? Did you say, okay, we're going to start here and we're going to go around?
I always go right.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just always go into the park and I always go right.
What else did you do that day? Did you see anything else? Did you eat?
We did. We ate. We went over to the chocolate. Is it Toothsome?
Yeah.
Yeah. We spent some time in there eating.
What's it called, Craig?
Toothsome Chocolate Emporium.
Toothsome chocolate. Have you been there?
No, but we've seen it.
Okay, I've been there several times. I've just to eat and then just to drink milkshakes and stuff. It was really good.
What kind of regular food do they have?
They have amazing meatloaf. And They have sandwiches, burgers.
Yeah, they have a lot of good stuff. They have an all-day brunch menu. It's they really tried to perfect with the amount of sweetness that's there. They tried to get a good menu balanced with a lot of savory items. So
Tater tot.
yeah,
something.
anytime they have tachos there, any
Tachos.
any super meaty things that you can find there. They're craft hamburgers, things like that.
And this is out in City Walk.
Yes, sir.
So you have to leave the park to go out to
What's a tacho?
It is
It's amazing.
nachos made
Tacho
from
business.
tater tots. So tachos.
It's a trendy thing.
Tater tots are the world's most perfect food.
Yeah.
They
Or
are.
you could call them just loaded tater tots,
Yeah.
but tachos.
Tachos.
Apparently loaded takes too long to say.
Okay.
So we did that. We
Googling
did,
it.
we did do some, just people watching. We did a little shopping. But mainly we stuck to the rides going to. And then, a lot of our time was spent, no, I'm not going to do that because, I did the Mummy one day. And
Sorry, what was the park hours the day that you were there?
9, they opened at 9.
And what time did they
5,
close?
let's see. The one day, I want to say, the day we did the Express, Islands of Adventure was open later.
Yeah.
And we went back. We went to the hotel and then went back. Because we decided we're going to go out for dinner, go chill, and then go back again when it was cooler.
Do you have a theory about park hours and Express Pass?
Yeah,
Is this where you're going with it?
It's very important, especially depending on the time of year. So a lot of during slower periods, Universal Studios is only open until, let's say, 7-ish.
Yeah.
And that will inevitably change when their new nighttime show that as of recording hasn't still been given a name. It's been announced, but we don't know when it's going to open. So that could all change very soon. But once that opens up, then park hours should go back to being a little bit later. You mentioned Islands of Adventure was open a little bit later. That's because currently they're running the nighttime projections on Hogwarts Castle. So considering it's summertime or just about to be summertime in Florida, it doesn't get dark here until 8:30, 8:45.
now.
So for something like that, the park has to be open till about 10 o'clock. But if Universal Studios is closing anywhere like 7, 8 o'clock, that makes a very, very huge impact on what you can actually accomplish in
Waiting
the day.
3 hours in line, 3
Yeah.
hours of your day is gone and the park closes early.
And genuinely, I know you said your day was a bit slower with 25, 30, 40-minute waits.
Yeah.
I would honestly consider that to be a moderately busy day. If you would have said that you were waiting a maximum of 20 minutes, most were at 10 or 15, that would be slow to me. But once you start adding those 40 minutes up, that adds up very,
Seems like a
very
long time
quickly.
to me.
It does add up, yeah. It
And
does.
a lot of times with that, you're talking 40 minutes to get to a pre-show, and then you have a pre-show,
And then you have to do
after
it.
that,
Yeah,
you have
right.
the attraction.
Yeah.
So you're talking the full experience on one attraction might be 1 hour, and add in your meals, add in your walk time, add in time that you're inevitably going to stop and shop for merch. If the park's only open for 10 hours, you might be only looking at doing 7 or 8 things if a couple of those end up being even hour-long
Yeah.
waits. So that's the only reason why I asked. It can make a huge impact on your day if the park's not open as long.
So tell us about the next day. So the next day was when you decided I'm going to use the unlimited pass.
Right. And most everything was just walk in and...
How does that work? Do you have a thing? Do you have a
Well, I
badge
didn't
you
have
show them?
lanyards. We just had our room
I have a
key.
thing. I don't know what you're
We had our thing.
This
Not
is
a
a
magic
radio show.
Wow.
It's not a magic
Did
band.
you get that? For me, that's what I call it.
call it
The
the
thing. No, we just had our room keys that showed where we were,
Okay.
and we just flashed them at the entrance. And
So does the room? All it says is where you're staying, so they know based on where you're staying
Mm-hmm.
that you got this pass.
and then you just and it's got your name on it. Ooh, look at me, because Stella was the big thing because she got the cute card and I got Men in Blue. Anyway,
Men in Blue.
Yes, we do appreciate our police force out there, but
It's a completely different ride than Men in Blue.
Blue Man. So anyway,
So wait, now you go up to the ride and you just show them your hotel room, hotel key, and nobody's checked an ID.
Nobody's checked ID. Nobody's scanning anything.
All right.
You just show them that, and they put you in the right queue. And most of the time, it was the time spent was walking through the queue, trying to get to where you needed to be. There was no line. There was only one. Let me see, which one was it that had the line?
So while you're looking that up, do you go to the pre-show with the Express Pass, or do you skip the pre-show?
No, you go through. You do.
Okay.
You do.
Because that's one of the things that I was always kind of iffy about with Disney's system is the times that they actually put you past the pre-show. Because the pre-show is kind of fun.
No, they didn't. And weirdly enough, the when I went back in, the race through New York, they stuck us on an elevator. Have you ever been in that elevator to go upstairs?
I know where the elevator is, but no, I just walk up the stairs.
Okay, well
because you had a cane.
No, because they asked me, and I'm like, they asked me if I wanted to do that because it would get me upstairs and it would be quicker to get to the front of the line. And then when I got to the top and the elevator opened, Hashtag was standing right there and jumped in.
Oh, that's cute.
It was cute. Do you know who Hashtag is?
No.
He's a panda, right?
He's a Jimmy Fallon character from The Tonight Show.
Of course, in a big panda
has
suit.
hashtags on his hand. He jumps around and they make like horns.
Stella took about 30 minutes to recover from that because it scared the crap out. I mean, it's giant. You're expecting to step off and this thing comes in at you doing this stuff. And it's like, oh, so that was kind of weird. But most of the time we walked the queue. There were some that were a little bit shorter, but I don't think I lost any of the experience because of it. I mean, it just seemed like it was, just.
And what rides did you do that day?
That day we did Simpsons again. We did both parks that day. We got into both of them. We did Despicable Me, Cat in the Hat, One Fish, Two Fish, which actually had a long wait. That was the quickest, got you through the quickest. And I guess it was just all the people and their little kids and stuff like that. Spider-Man, which I absolutely love. I didn't do Forbidden Journey, but I walked through it. That was a 45-minute wait.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
So if you didn't have the pass, it would have been a 45-minute wait.
Yes.
Which isn't bad for Forbidden Journey.
Right. I didn't think it was either. Right. We did Mummy, which I don't care for, but I did it anyway because I knew I'd done it and I knew what to expect. Men in Black. And what other one did we do? Hogwarts Express. That's how we got from one park to the other. So some of them we did twice because you could go back, because we had we did the Cat in the Hat 3 times because Stella still likes that, even though she's 16.
But that's the whole idea. The whole idea is you have this pass and you can ride as many times as you want. Who cares what it is you like?
You personalize it to what you want. You don't just say, well, we've done that, move on. If that's something you enjoy, then...
Because I think if you have a limited amount of time, you feel like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's make sure we get everything. But when you have more time and the ability to do it, you can ride something.
And when I was in the park with my whole family, and we all had this, with both parents, one of us would stay with Stella because she was young at the time and do whatever she wanted. And then the other would go off and do all the thrill rides. And then we'd swap out because, Stella's still standing in line for Cat in the Hat. So, but... it's a feature that I think comes in handy a lot for families with multiple children, multiple ages.
I just want to make sure, though, you said earlier that you just showed your Express Pass everywhere. Are you positive they weren't scanning it? Because
I don't think they did.
Because
I just wasn't paying attention.
I mean,
are they scanning? No.
I have after 4:00, I get Express with my Universal Annual Pass. I haven't used it in a couple months for Express because I just go to the stuff that's shorter naturally. Most of the time I'm with people who don't have Express, but part of how they scan it is that's how you can tell the difference between someone who has unlimited or already rode once.
The thing is, she has a resort key. So maybe showing the resort key and they see the resort, it tells them they have unlimited.
Yes,
That
it
particular
can.
resort.
But it also, if you, like a lot of times with Express, you don't have, just from working at the park and then also using it there, you don't have a lot of time to sit there and like actually stand there and look at someone's pass. A lot of times people are very clever about it and they will bring an old hotel key card.
Yeah.
That
Would it be a hand?
doesn't
I
have
don't remember seeing any like hand scanners or anything.
Not a hand scanner, like a grocery store scanner, kind of like the ones that you can pick up yourself.
Like a infrared beam at the end,
Yeah.
and hitting your barcode.
Yeah. Well, crap. Maybe they did, and I didn't notice. But I don't.
Well, here's the nice part about it. Whatever it wasn't intrusive.
No, it wasn't.
And it wasn't something where you went, oh, I got to stop.
And there was
here
no wait in line. It was just like, okay, on you go. So maybe wow.
So if they did do that, like I said, I mean, it was a good system.
Yeah.
It wasn't holding you up. You weren't annoyed by it. It wasn't affecting your ability to get on the ride.
I think only two, if I remember correctly, two places took it out of my hand. And everybody else I just held up, and maybe they did something with it. I don't know.
Could it just be lax team members, not really?
Short answer, no. It's if you let people abuse Express, that's grounds for losing your job. So, no,
Well, then maybe we're scanning it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
Well, the good thing is, again, like I said, you didn't notice it. It didn't bother you. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah, there was
It happened, and it was you went through. So obviously, makes sense. Even before you even did this little experiment, obviously you got on more attractions. You got on attractions faster. You got to redo ones you didn't get a chance to do the last time. So it gives you more time to get on the things you want to see.
And do more in the parks, definitely.
So from a logistical standpoint, it's worth it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So let's talk financially. Is it worth it financially? Because as I mentioned, the hotels that include it are what are the higher end hotels at Universal. They cost more per night. It's not just because they include the unlimited express pass. It's also because they have different amenities and access to the park and different transportation. So there are other things included in that price increase, but you're paying more for that. So I know I asked you to do a little price comparison between the hotels that offer the unlimited, that include it, versus adding it to the other hotels that don't.
Right.
I also want to make one thing clear, too. I don't think we mentioned this. This is not good for Volcano Bay. You can't use this at Volcano Bay because they have a completely different system over there. So that only applies to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure I got that out there. So tell us what you found when you were doing your price comparison.
Well, I did some pricing for the summer for 2 adults and one, I think I used a 12-year-old. For those months, the 3 Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, and Portofino, all the price was a little bit higher. Do you want me to give out the actual pricing that I...
Give us a little bit of a comparison, like, what's the average price of those 3?
Okay. Those 3 averaged out about $3,000 for the summer for a 5-night stay, a 4-night, 5-day stay. Okay.
For 2 adults and a 12-year-old.
2 adults and a 12-year-old. And that does include the tickets. That includes the park-to-park ticket, which gives you the express pass included, like we said. So those were about $3,000. Now, the other 2 that I showed, Cabana Bay and Sapphire Falls, those ran a little over $2,000.
With no pass.
With no pass, right? Just $2,000.
But that includes the tickets.
That does include the tickets, but not the express pass. Now, you can add in the express pass if they want to do like for just one day. You pay a certain price to get the express pass. You could pick a day, or you could do it for the whole day.
Your length of stay.
Length of stay, yeah. And that would up the price on that. So I think I don't know. The 3 that I priced out, the price was almost the same for all 3. For those 3. So I think it would just be pick one of those. The others, like I said, it's going to be for the summertime. You priced out October, right, or a little bit later?
So I did a little bit on my own. I asked for some help because I don't do these things. And the agent who helped me looked at October 21st through October 28th of 2018. I asked for October because I think Universal's very popular during October because of Halloween Horror Nights. So the possibility of possibly more lines, bigger crowds, higher prices, that sort of thing, because it's for them a more popular time of year. So October 21st, so October 28th, I've got 2 adults, 2 children, 10 and 15, all with the same pass, 5-day, 3 park to park passes. Now this is the 3 park because of the water parks included, but you don't have to do a 3 park. And for each pricing I'm going to give you, it's the least expensive room category available. Hard to do because when you're looking at 2 different hotels, they don't all just say standard view room.
Right.
You know how they have room categories. So let's just assume the cheapest room available for these dates for this party. So let's look at my favorite. My favorite is Portofino Bay. It's considered a deluxe 2-queen bedded room. This has the pass included, the free Universal Express Unlimited Pass, $3,862
for 4 people.
For 5 nights for a party of 4.
For 7 nights, 21st to the 28th.
Gotcha.
So, which in and of itself, I think is an incredible
But a
price.
5-night pass.
For the 5-day pass, right.
Sorry, that's what I was
Right.
going with.
And usually what happens at Universal is people do take a little bit lesser pass than every single day. It's just because then there's other options that they can do. All right, so let's compare that to Sapphire Falls, the newest hotel at Universal Orlando that is open. At the time of recording this, Aventura, you can book Aventura, but it's not open. So for the same dates, with the ticket, with no express pass at all, it's $31.39. So you're talking about only a $600 difference between having the pass and not having the pass. And I realize for some people, there's a lot of money. $600 is a lot of money. It could be the difference between, being able to fly out or not fly out. But in and of itself, the fact that you've got the higher end resort, you've got more amenities, you've got you've got a different transportation system. You have the boat as opposed to taking a bus type of thing. So for $600 difference, I think that's pretty good.
That's $25 a day per person.
Right.
That's a good difference. And that's keeping in mind the ages of those children. Those passes are going to come in handy.
Yep. And now we've added an express pass. This is not the unlimited pass. This is just the regular pass for 5 days for 2 parks with park-to-park access. So the exact same hotel, exact same dates, exact same theme park ticket, now with 5 days of express pass, not the unlimited, so they don't get to ride everything over and over. Going back to Sapphire Falls, $4,886.
That's crazy.
So you're talking about $1,000 more to add express pass. And now this express pass gets even more complicated because the price is based per day based on travel date. So during this whole time, the price of the express pass actually changed. For some of the dates, I got to go down and find my little note here. For some of the dates, it was $85 a person. For some of the dates, it was $90 a person. So if you are looking for this benefit, if you are looking to ride these rides and get in front of the line and do all this other stuff, I think booking one of the hotels that includes the unlimited pass is by far the better deal than trying to add it. Again, I want to make sure we understand, though, that you don't have to add it for every day. So you could save some money by saying, okay, guess what? Let's do it 2 days.
Right.
And one day we'll take the studios, one day we'll
But that
take...
still doesn't really make that much sense because the higher end hotel with the included unlimited pass was only $600 more per day. For 5 nights for 4 people, what is it, $30, $25 or $30 a day? You're going to eat that up by adding the pass. It definitely makes sense to check all your options.
Absolutely. This is what surprised me was the price difference between having an express pass on the hotel that doesn't include it versus the higher end hotel that does include it was $1,000 more.
$1,000.
And again, there's ways you can save money on that and you can trim it and you can make it work for you. But I think if you're just looking at it from that perspective, I think it's absolutely worth it.
It's just the ease of just, you don't have to, it's a no-brainer. You just do it and you got it, and, you know.
I agree. I mean, I think it's a great system. I know there are a lot of people out there who are probably not happy because, you know, this is sort of that idea that, yes, if you have more money and you can afford it, you can now have a better park experience. And this is something that people are sort of rallying against with Disney, saying, you know, the ability for certain people to be able to buy more fast passes as opposed to other people. This isn't fair. But this is the reality we live in, you know, and time is money. And if your time is worth $600 to not have to wait 3 hours in line for rides in one day, I think it's something to consider.
Definitely.
Thoughts?
I tell people all the time, it's all about what your expectations are. So if you are going to the park with a bunch of young children, and they're not tall enough for a lot of the thrill attractions, chances are you probably don't need it unless
That's a good point, too,
unless you know you're with your significant other and you want to do like ride swapping and child swapping. Otherwise, it might not be of value for you. If you're talking about you want to do the Incredible Hulk and Forbidden Journey and Spider-Man at least 5 times a day, then yes, Express is going to help you out. But if you're saying, okay, well, as long as I ride like most of the big attractions at least once with a proper park plan and paying attention to wait times constantly, you can get everything done once. So it really is. It depends on if you want to put the work into creating a plan and being okay at the end of the day if you have to miss stuff. But if your goal is I need to hit everything once and that's no substitutions, then yeah, you pretty much get it.
I think about the family that I give the example of is 2 adults, 2 kids, 10 and 15. That's about what my brother's family was when they came to Universal. And the idea that they would want to ride the big rides. They would love to go on Forbidden Journey more than once. They would love to, you know, be on the Hulk and be on all these coasters and stuff, and Spider-Man multiple times.
They were not planners.
Yeah.
Right, they were not planners. They were not good at it. We went to the Magic Kingdom one day, and my brother decided he wanted to go on, as soon as we got there, he wanted to go on Splash Mountain. Okay, that's on the other side of the park.
So we walked to Splash Mountain. Then he said to me, now I want to go on not Big Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain.
Oh.
I explained to him that this is a circle.
Right.
And we're going to walk around the circle. I'm not bouncing back and forth across the park on a whim. They were not planners. They also didn't understand the concept of let's go in a circle.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, all I was going to say, too, is especially right now after our year-long drought that we just went through, we've had an already unusually
Active,
wet, a very bad weather season that looks like it's going to continue through the summer with how things are really aiming. And Universal is built up with many attractions that are outdoors that can be affected by the weather. They have plenty of indoors too, but if you're talking about a limited time that you have at Universal, you know, if it rains and there's a thunderstorm happening for 3 hours of a day, and that cuts off a lot of those outdoor attractions that you can't otherwise do. So that will drive up wait times for all those indoor attractions, and that'll also give you a lot less time to do the outdoor attractions. So by utilizing Express, you know, if it is storming, you can't get on anything but indoor attractions, that's when you're going to see stuff like Forbidden Journey and Spider-Man shoot up into hour-long wait times, even more than that. With the Express Pass, you know, you're going to get on it a lot quicker, and if you're okay trudging through the rain, you're going to be able to get more attractions done than the people who are then waiting in line. So
I also think about
forecast.
I think about what I see as a typical way of people to travel is people are staying at Universal a few nights, 2, 3, maybe 4 nights. They're not going like they're going to Disney for or 10 days. So perhaps utilizing this to get the most out of that short period of time is the best. But if you have more time to do it, and it's also personal preference, I mean, we're not thrill ride people. So it doesn't matter to us. We wouldn't be running from pillar to post.
I don't care how long you wait for the Hulk.
Really? Because you're going to wait in that little restaurant across the way.
Wait in the shade where the air conditioning.
That's just how we are. So if you're that type of person who doesn't have to get on those rides, that's a consideration too.
I think that I think it's most important for teens your age, Craig, the ones that want to do the thrill rides. Grace is over there multiple. You want to do the same thing. You want to do what you like, and you don't want to wait.
Yeah, people that don't want to plan. I'm smart enough from going that I know in the summer you don't go to any of the water attractions between like noon and 5 o'clock because that's when it's the hottest outside and that's when everyone's doing them. If you wait until night or you hit it first thing in the morning when it opens, you're going to usually walk right on. So, you spend the day wet, but you get it done. So, for people who don't want to plan,
sometimes it's hot enough you dry off. Sometimes
chafe all day.
Cool.
Let's talk a little bit about your...
I'm always amazed at people in wet jeans.
Let's talk a little bit about your annual pass. What kind of annual pass do you have that has the Express added to it?
The Premier Annual Pass. So, it's the highest tier level that you can have. You can get it as either a 2-park pass or a 3-park one that includes Volcano Bay. But it's the highest level pass does have Express after 4 p.m. and you'll be able to use it all you want. It's a great little perk.
That's not just for Florida residents. That's for anybody.
Anyone can buy any of Universal's annual passes. It's just if you are a Florida resident, you can get it at a greater discount. But
something to consider if you're going to do multiple trips.
Yeah.
Definitely something as opposed to getting, a length of stay or how many days you're going to be here pass. Consider that if that's included. And that's one time per ride, or is that equivalent of unlimited?
I believe it's just one time per ride.
Okay.
But
if it's
honestly,
after 4 o'clock anyway. I mean, it's
I genuinely have never tried to use it multiple times after 4, so I can't honestly answer. But it doesn't say in the perks unlimited Express. It says Express Pass after 4. So I would assume it's the one per attraction. But I'm sorry, I've never even thought to ask that question before.
Just an idea of, if someone was looking at that option. Any other thoughts, Teresa, before we close out? Anything else you want to mention? Did you have fun? Did you have a good time?
I did have fun. Okay. Yeah, I had a good time. I had friends come over and join us a couple of times, and my son come over. Another perk, I think, staying with these top 3 resorts, Portofino, Hard Rock, and Royal, is the transportation. It was so easy to just go back to the hotel for a little bit and then go back into the parks or take a break before you go into the second park. I mean, that is a big plus to me.
It's like staying on a monorail resort at Disney. I think for those people who aren't Universal familiar, it's like the difference between staying on a monorail resort. You can walk out of the Magic Kingdom and get directly to your hotel.
And be there quickly.
Right, where otherwise there's,
But the pricing on these is not bad.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
Especially when you compare to a Disney resort.
Yeah.
And the Portofino is a luxury resort.
How did you like the hotel?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I love
it was
that
beautiful.
hotel.
The beds were amazing. The room service was amazing. Everybody, yes, I did room service.
Oh man, I can just hear the cash register chinging
Can't wait
up.
to get that bill. Huh?
The lobster in the room was wonderful.
I had them fly it in.
No, Grace, wrong child. Sorry, mothers all do that. Stella's not a morning person, so she needed to eat before she saw other people. So
I'm that way with coffee.
So she ate a Pop-Tart and I got room service. No, but no, the hotel was beautiful. The people there are amazing. There's nothing bad about the whole experience.
They're really great.
Absolutely nothing.
Team members there.
Yeah.
Did she have fun?
She did. Yeah.
Good.
She did. She had a lot of fun. Excellent. She's working on her personal thank you note now to you.
Okay.
You should get it in a couple of years. It's in pictorial form.
Excellent. That's all right. She's cutting out the letters one at a time. Is she out of the magazine? That should be fun. All right. Teresa, thank you for doing that research for me. I really appreciate it.
Really, thanks, Teresa, for going to a hotel. And
Really. Staying at a luxury hotel with
What was it called?
service.
Workation.
Teresa's Workation.
I'm on board if you want to do that again.
There should be a regular segment. Teresa's Workation.
Workation. Make me stay at the Welcome Center and sleep on the sofa until I come home.
From now on, it's going to be a little bit less plush. It's going to be, like a motel on I-192. And
Workation. Being the rats. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you again. Thank you guys for helping out and participating in the conversation. Thank you, everybody at home, for listening and watching. We hope you have a great week, and we hope you have a great vacation.